Hi, I'm Rob Cram, and today we're taking a look at Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed 3. Earlier this month, we were invited to the Tower of London to get some hands-on time with the preview version of the game. Despite London and its tower not being reflective of the game per se, it made for a fitting location to host such a historically driven game. So how does Assassin's Creed 3 fare? Our journey began around halfway into the game, where players would be familiar with the basics of the gameplay and no doubt spent numerous hours reaching this point. We did not have that benefit, and we were thrust into the homestead with a pat on the back and a chance to simply take in the surroundings. After a bit of banter, we explored the local area, which played host to numerous side missions and objectives. The naval option was available here, although unfortunately we were too distracted to visit the harbour master. There are a number of mini-games to play, although our attempts were pretty poor. With stakes low and not enough time to actually learn the game, it was an interesting experience and brought home how vast the game is. Heading out into the wilderness surrounding our homestead, which we're told can be developed, where over time more people live and work there, it's similar to what we've seen before with the hub of operations in Assassin's Creed 2, but feels a lot more homely. After a brief ride on horseback, a quick jaunt with some of the local beasts, which sapped a bit of health and resulted in some nice hide, we encountered some of the local nasties, who needed to be taken out after they almost killed a female hunter, whom we came to her rescue. This was our first taste of the stealth combat and the use of the rope darts weapon, which offers some neat takedowns using the environment. In general, the context-sensitive controls work well, often providing hints as to what you can do before it becomes second nature. In this instance, the stealth remains intact and works as expected. Movement is swift, although unfortunately you can't climb on everything, and goddamn we did try. The game uses a fast travel system which enables players to visit areas very quickly, although in doing so does mean double loading screens at times, which did feel a bit odd. That said, the ease of traversing the vast and open lands is welcome, considering how much there is to do and explore outside of the main story. Our adventures truly began once we entered the bright and cheerful Boston, which instantly is a massive contrast to the populace and environments of the previous games. The town is filled with conversations, background effects, and of course Assassin's Creed's signature elements such as patrolling guards on the ground and rooftops. Any apprehension towards the setting of the game is instantly crushed once the city is explored, as you get a feel for its inhabitants. There's a real vibrancy here, where the people don't simply look like drones repeating stagnant routines. There is a purpose somewhat behind many actions. And then it rained. Not only is the real-time day and night cycle much more prominent, when it started to rain, it brought a different edge to the city. Sure, people carried on as normal, but the transition of something we perhaps take for granted in other games was very much welcome here. Our stay in Boston had us blowing up goods at the docks and getting into fights with the local muscle, and to think after 2 hours of play we'd hardly scratched the surface. Combat feels very much like an evolution of before, although this time there's quite a bit more depth in terms of how you use particular moves against ranked opponents. It's still very much a game of counterattacks, requires a bit more skill though. Our battle raged on, and when guns are involved, really up the stakes, as one false move in a combo can mean some hefty damage. Upon leaving the Tower of London, it dawned on us that Assassin's Creed 3 is not only a technical masterpiece, it's also a game that is overflowing with features, to the point where some gamers, there might be possibly too much. Ubisoft have honed their open world skills, and they seem to culminate this in the latest game that simply will keep everyone well entertained for quite some time. If you thought the series was getting a bit stale, it seems Ubisoft's change of direction and pace is well met, and surprisingly fresh, which is quite an achievement. Assassin's Creed 3 releases on October the 30th, and we can't wait to get our hands on the full game. Our passion for Assassin's Creed seems to have been reignited. It's about time too. I'm Rob Cram, thanks for watching.